They smashed the scooter with such brutal force that little Abigail screamed. I didn't want to believe what I was seeing, that someone claiming to represent our neighborhood's HOA could act with that much venom, right in front of children. Phones were up all around us, neighbors recording in stunned silence as the woman in the black polo stood over the mangled remains of that pink scooter like she'd just carried out a righteous sentence. Spinning wheels, twisted metal, shattered plastic, and all she did was smirk. Abigail clung to me, her tears soaking through my shirt as the entire cul-de-sac stood frozen in a stunned hush. But that act of cruelty wasn't the climax. Not even close. It was the spark, because we had no idea how deep this battle would go, or that my own mother, sweet, silver-haired, and supposedly long-retired, had once commanded a SWAT unit. That quiet card up our sleeve? It would blow apart everything these so-called enforcers thought they could get away with. The day had started like a page from a Norman Rockwell painting. A perfect Saturday morning. Birds chirped. Sprinklers danced across well-kept lawns. Kids rode their bikes and tossed frisbees. Our street in Willow Grove was a portrait of calm, suburban pride. People here waved to each other. Barbecues popped up like clockwork on sunny weekends. At most, the biggest drama was a petty argument about holiday wreaths staying up too long. But there were always whispers beneath the manicured calm stories of overzealous HOA officials, fines for ridiculous infractions, threats over mailbox paint. Nobody ever talked back, until they came for us. I'm Daniel Price, widower, father of one beautiful 7-year-old daughter, Abigail. She's bright, bold, and full of questions, the kind of kid who sees the world like a playground waiting to be conquered. A few weeks back, I'd finally saved enough for my shifts at the lumberyard to buy her that scooter she'd been dreaming of, a candy pink model with silver star stickers, complete with a helmet covered in glittery decals. She rode it like it was a rocket ship. Our driveway became her runway. Every afternoon, she'd loop around in tight circles while I sat on the porch with a cup of stale coffee, pretending for a moment that the weight of grief and bills didn't exist. My mother, Evelyn Price, or just Nana, to Abby, had moved in a year ago, saying she needed a quieter life. She spent her days pruning the rose bushes or reading crime novels with the kind of attention that always made me wonder about her past. She told me she worked in administration, retired early, just wanted peace. I believed her. That morning, Abby was wearing her sparkly helmet, her hair in bouncing pigtails zipping back and forth in the sunlight. My mother was humming, watering the snapdragons. I stood by the porch railing, half awake, enjoying the illusion of a perfect world. That illusion shattered the moment a grimy green SUV screeched to a stop in front of our house. Its tires screamed. Abby jumped, swerving her scooter just in time. I froze. Painted in uneven white letters across the door were the words, HOA Enforcement. It looked like someone had slapped the label on with discount vinyl decals. My mother lowered the watering can. I remember the way her spine straightened, subtle, barely a movement, but it shifted her entire presence. Her hum stopped mid-note. Two women jumped out. One was tall and wiry, her hair buzzed short and slicked back. She wore massive mirrored sunglasses that reflected the sky and everything in it. The other was shorter but built like a bulldozer, with biceps bulging under her black polo shirt, the same slapdash HOA Enforcement patch stitched above her heart. They didn't carry clipboards or ID. They looked more like nightclub bouncers than anything close to professional. Across the street, Mr. Whitaker stepped out of his house, brow furrowed. Further down, a teen already had his phone aimed at us. I felt my stomach knot. The tall woman strutted up the driveway, her eyes flicking from our lawn to our hose to a smudge on the garage door. She stopped in front of Abby's scooter and sniffed in disgust. The stockier woman followed, cracking her knuckles, staring down at my daughter like she was a stray cat. That's a violation, the tall one said coldly, pointing a finger at the scooter. Unauthorized vehicles aren't allowed on community sidewalks. She's on her driveway, I said, stepping forward. Same thing, the bulldozer snapped. We've had complaints. She's disturbing the peace. Disturbing the peace. My mother didn't say anything. She just dried her hands on her apron, watching. I try to keep calm. We've lived here for years. No one's ever had a problem with her scooter. That was before we were appointed, the tall one replied. We've been authorized to crack down on violations. She pulled out a crumpled paper, an unbranded printout, and waved it like it meant something. My daughter looked up at me, confused and frightened. The stocky woman leaned down toward the scooter, touching it like it was some kind of evidence in a crime scene. And then, without warning, she flipped it. "Hey!" Abby shouted, reaching out instinctively. The woman ignored her. She pressed down hard on the handlebar. There was a loud crack. Plastic snapped. The front wheel bent like paper. The scooter collapsed in on itself, a mess of twisted pink. Abby screamed. A hush fell over the street. Phones were up. Neighbors were watching. The woman stood over the wreckage with her arms crossed like she'd done the Lord's work. I was trembling. I stepped forward. "You just destroyed my daughter's property. You want to escalate this?" she snarled. "That scooter violated HOA code. You'll be fined. Keep resisting, and we'll file a citation against your property." "That's enough," my mother said, stepping forward. Her voice wasn't loud. It was calm, too calm. She looked up at the tall woman and asked, "Do you have a badge?" "Don't need one," the tall one said smugly. "We are the enforcement." "No," my mother replied. "You're pretending." The bulldozer puffed up. "Watch your mouth, old lady." "Or what?" Mom asked. Her posture didn't change. She didn't flinch. "You'll break a watering can next?" They stepped closer. I could feel the violence building. My heart was pounding. Abby clung to my leg. "Daniel," Mom said without turning, "take Abby to the corner of the yard, near the roses. Stay there." "Mom, do it now." I obeyed. While I looked back, she had stepped between the two women and the porch. The stocky one lunged forward and grabbed my mother's guarding vest. That's what happened. In one fluid motion, my mother twisted, grabbed the woman's wrist, pivoted, and used her own momentum to slam an elbow into the woman's arm. There was a shout. The woman stumbled back, clutching her bicep. The tall one reached for something a baton, maybe, but before she could draw it, my mother disarmed her. Just like that. The weapon clattered to the driveway. My neighbors gasped. "Who the hell are you?" the tall one hissed, backing away. My mother didn't answer. She kicked the baton away and said, "I don't like bullies." Then the bulldozer tried again. She swung a punch. Bad idea. Mom ducked, hooked her arm, and sent her sprawling onto the ground with a solid thud. The tall one froze mid-step, staring in disbelief. "You're not law enforcement," my mother said quietly, "and you just committed assault." By then, the neighborhood was on fire, phones up, neighbors cheering. Some were calling the police. One shouted, "Get them, Evelyn." Another yelled, "We've got it all on video." I called 911. My voice shook. "They attacked us," I said. "They destroyed my daughter's scooter. They're pretending to be HOA." The women tried to flee. My mother blocked the SUV. She didn't throw a punch. She just stood there like a wall. "You're not leaving," she told them. "Police are on the way." And then they came. Sirens. Blue lights. Patrol cars blocked the road. Officer Michaels, a familiar face from neighborhood watch meetings, stepped out. He listened to everyone. Took one look at the broken scooter. Listened to Abby, still crying, still heartbroken, tell him what happened. The women claimed authority. They had none. They were imposters. Fake forms. No IDs. No badges. No authorization. Officer Michaels shook his head. "This is impersonation, destruction of property, and assault." Another car arrived. Out stepped Detective Carla Mendoza from the county task force. She took one look at the chaos and sighed. "We've been tracking these two for weeks," she said. "Fake HOA officers. Targeting families. Issuing fake fines. Extortion. But this, vandalizing a child's toy? That's a new low." She turned to my mother. "Evelyn Price." My mother raised an eyebrow. "I thought I recognized you. Former SWAT, Metro Division." My mother nodded once. "A long time ago." The detective smiled. "Guess you haven't lost your touch." The women were arrested. Hauled into cruisers. The SUV was impounded. My neighbors applauded. Some cried. Others hugged us. Later that day, news crews came. Our street made headlines. SWAT grandma stops HOA imposters. My mother avoided the spotlight. When a reporter asked for comment, she said, "All that matters is my granddaughter is safe." The real HOA released a statement. They had no connection to the women. They promised to reimburse us, promised reforms. Turns out, the imposters were part of a larger scheme. A developer had quietly been trying to acquire properties along our street. The women were his enforcers. Smash a toy here, intimidate a family there until they gave in and sold. They picked the wrong house. The DA built a strong case. The developer was implicated. The imposters pled guilty. And Abigail? She got a new scooter, bright pink, with extra star stickers. A gift from the neighborhood. That night, I sat on the porch with my mother, watching Abigail ride again. Her laughter returned. "You could have told me," I said, "about the SWAT team, about everything." My mother smiled softly. "I just wanted to be a grandmother." "You're a hero," I said. "No," she replied, "just someone who doesn't tolerate bullies." And that's exactly who she is.